Dear Mira, it is my second day here in Stormwind. The cot I was provided was stiff, and the blanket was full of holes. The pealing of the cathedral bell awoke me. The denizens immediately set off to work, the clanging from the engineers and blacksmiths. Nearby started up almost immediately. It's been a while since I've stayed in a bustling city such as this. Already, I miss the wilderness and my tent. Being in this city has brought back memories of my parents. They had traveled to and from Stormwind many times when I was a child during their service in the Navy. They were called away when the dark portal was opened, and lost their lives in defense of humanity somewhere on these shores. Walking these streets, it is hard to imagine that this city ever burned. But from the ashes, this new Stormwind was raised. Everywhere is stone and marble, dazzling brightly in the sun. Gold and royal blue decorate nearly every surface, and only the Dwarven district seems to track dirt. But there are the rats, little evidence of habitation, though the city tries its best to hide it. But perhaps, I thought, I should tour the city and see what it had to offer. The sooty Dwarven district was a bastion of immigrants looking to trade, but I found nothing of interest in their industry. Old Town is a claustrophobic series of alleyways and dead ends. I had visited the tavern there, but it is easy to get lost in there. It seems a good place for a rogue to pick your pocket. I traveled through the cathedral district and was amazed by the sheer size of the building. Its imposing figure towered over the city, silently judging. Although the city prides itself on its dedication to the light, there were very few people. Within the cathedral, shifting eyes followed me, and it seemed to me to be a glorified guardhouse for the library contained within. I had no interest in their religion, and so left. It was here that I began to notice the small shrines and statues, dedicated to heroes of old. That would seem to be a common theme. I could gaze up the way and into Stormwind Keep. It seemed to impose its rigid will upon the city from above, almost cresting the surrounding mountains. As you know, I loathe politics, so I steered clear, but I did make my way to the Mage District. It was here that I finally found a semblance of peace. There were actual trees and grass here, and a kind night elf taught me a bit more about herbalism on my way to see the Mage Tower. I'm not sure why they have such a long ramp when it is only a portal at the end of it. Couldn't they have just put the portal at the bottom? I digress. It was the other side of the portal that would amaze even you, Mira. What seemed a small lookout tower expanded into a large space filled with portals to every corner of Azeroth. I spoke with a few people in here, but it seemed the mages needed their concentration held during their shift of keeping the portals open. I left here and made my way to the trade district. I was shuffled around and asked to take messages to and fro in return for some vinegar wine that gave me a headache. To clear my head, I walked out of the city gates and into the Valley of Heroes. The cavalry paraded here almost continuously between the massive idols they had constructed. I saw names like Archmage, Khadgar, General Turelian, Danoth Trollbane, and even a dwarf, Kurdran Wildhammer, and a high elf Alira Windrunner. The statues were magnificent, but they also sullied my view of the city. These are the heroes they decided to glorify at the very gates of Stormwind. All are still alive. I saw no tribute to the fallen heroes, such as my parents. It seemed the brilliance of the city was meant to distract you from seeing the skeletons in the closet. The unnamed heroes have been forgotten by the rich and powerful, and the labor used to build the city had gone unpaid for years. As I sit here recounting this to you, it makes me angry all over again. I have grieved my parents along with countless other orphans in Borealis, but to see them forgotten reopened the wound. The only friendly face I've seen so far was the elf who trained me in herbalism. She was the only being here who was not caught in the current of the city, and so perhaps tomorrow I will journey to Columdor. Perhaps the kinship I seek isn't among the other humans. Perhaps I may find it among the elves and other druids as well. As always, you are in my thoughts and my heart. Words cannot express how much I miss you, but I hope that wherever the tides have taken you, you will wait for me. Forever yours, Ulric.